Hello everyone, welcome to the first lesson of Biblical Hebrew. The Biblical Hebrew pronunciation that I'll be teaching, that I'll be using in these lessons will be from Modern Hebrew. That's the way I was taught, and that's the way I'll employ. The characters of the Hebrew script that is used in the Hebrew Bibles is called Kitav Merubah, which I'll write here for you. Kitav Merubah means squared script, and soon you'll be reading this. It's also called Kitav Ashuri, which is written like this, and Kitav Ashuri means Assyrian script. Kitav Ashuri. So this means Assyrian script. And this means squared script. And that's the name of the script that we'll be learning here. Okay. The first letter of the Hebrew alphabet is Alef. And I'll write these bigger so you can see them. And pay attention to the way that my hand is moving and writing the letters. That is the common way to write the letters. I'll also be teaching you the transliteration used. So Alef, we'll take this as a transliteration, an apostrophe that way, and also be teaching you the numerical values of each letter. So Alef is worth 1. The next letter is Beth or Bet. And in English, we say A, B. And by the way, this is not an A. The sound of Alef is whatever vowel it takes. They say it's quiescent, but it's not always quiescent. Quiescent means silent, but it's not always silent. It is, sometimes the glottal contracts. I believe actually most of the time the glottal contracts. So notice this Alef Beth sounds like alphabet, the alphabet. Sorry, I'm mixing my languages now. Alef Beth, alphabet. Yeah, and this is Beth or Bet. And I'll write this one big also here. And this is like a B. And its numerical value is 2. Next is Gimel, which is written like this. Maybe not so slanting. Gimel is a G, and its value is 3. For this, allow me to write it next to it again, more like this. Yeah, we'll take my handy dandy little whiteout. Et voila. Okay, Daleth. Daleth is next. It's written like that, and it's a D, and it's number 4. Should make it bigger like the other ones. I'll continue to do that. He is next. It's H. Sometimes it doesn't make a sound. We'll learn that as we go. That's 5. Vav. I'll be pronouncing the next one as Vav, as a V. Some people pronounce it as a W. However you like, but I'm going with V. This is number 6. Zain is the next one. It's a Z. Number 7. Next is Chet. Now, this sound doesn't exist in English. We'll represent it with an H with a dot under it. It's Chet. So it's at it's pronounced at the velum, and it's what they call a fricative. So the sound is impeded a bit. The airflow is impeded a bit, and it's not voiced, so your vocal glands won't vibrate, and it'll be Chet. Chet. Next is 9. The 9th one, which I'll make a little line here to separate these as we move on. There we go. Should do the next one as already here. Okay. That'll be plenty of space. So Chet. Next one is Tet. Sorry, this one is written this way. I have a habit of going that way, but it's supposed to go this way. That will be Tet. Historically, it's an emphatic T. It's Tet, but they don't pronounce it the Ta anymore. It's just Tet. Number 9. Next is Yod, which is the smallest letter, and it's Y, and it's number 10. Yod. Sometimes this will act as a vowel or be silent or so, and I'll explain that as we go. Next one is Kaf, which is a K. So this is like this. Kaf, which is a K, and this is not going to be 11, so now it's going to jump to 20. So if you wanted to write 11, what you would do is you would add. So Yod, then Alef will make 11. Kaf is 20. Next one is Lamed, which is a L. Lamed. Now notice, a lot of the times Y translated into English, the Yod in Hebrew is J, like Yeremiyahu, Jeremiah, Yeremiyahu, so it's the Y. And notice if that was a J, K, L, and you'll see the next two are M and N, which is, here we have Mem, and that one's written like this, so it's like up there and then like that. And that's an M, and it's worth 40, you guessed it. Next one is Noon, and that's 50. And the next one is not O. You'll learn O is when you learn vowels, but it's not P either, but it's S, Samech. Samech, and it's worth 60. And then the next one is written like this. It's Ayin, and it's transliterated the opposite way the apostrophe is written. So now this is equivalent to the Arabic Ayn, If you want to make a distinction between this, the Alef and the Ain, which is number 70, then you would pronounce this one Ain. But most of the time they just pronounce it the same. But historically this is I believe pharyngeal, if not glottal. Okay, or Ein, and then next one is the P, Pe. And Pe is written like this. Should have wrote these a little bit higher. See, Pe, and this one's a P, and then this one's worth 80 points, or 80. And then next is Saudi, or Tzadi in Hebrew, and this one is written like this. So it'll come down like that, there, come through there like that. And that is an emphatic S historically, but today in Hebrew it's a Tzadi, TS, as if you're saying cats. Imagine if the TS on cats is one letter, so Tza, and it's 90. And be careful, these two look the same. There are a lot of letters that look the same. The Beth and Kaf, the Dalet and Zen, the Vav and Zen, the Chet and He look very similar. The Nun and some of these look very close. You'll see when we learn some of the final forms of these letters, some of those look the same, and what distinguishes them we'll discuss. Saudi. So next is Kof. Now Kof is written with a Q, but it makes the same sound as the K. Historically, this is Kof, Qa, with a Qa, in the yeah, okay, never mind. So Kof is worth 100, and as you would guess, the next one is not 110, but it's going to be 200, which is Resh, which is the R. Now you're like, that doesn't sound like an R. That sounded like a sound I don't hear in English. Re, Resh, and that's the way they pronounce it. It's equivalent to the Chet, but voiced. Re, pronounced at the velum, voiced, fricative, which means the sound is impeded. Resh. Or if you can't pronounce that, just say Resh, and so on. Language is arbitrary, and sticking to one pronunciation is good for memorization purposes. So if you're not able to say Re, Resh is fine, and I had a student who did wonderful, who would pronounce it with a Spanish R. Next one is Sin. Sin, sorry, this should go this way, so follow my hand. Sin, and we'll transliterate it like this, and it's worth 300. But Sin and the next one, Shin, or in fact think of them as one letter in a sense, and we'll pronounce this. This is a SH. This is a regular S, but historically, so we'll have two regular S's. One is Samech, one is Sin. Historically, this was a type of lateral, Shin, which you'll see in the word Kasdim, meaning Chaldean. That L, Chaldean, is Kasdim, or what historically was Kasdim in Proto, in this Hebrew. So this is another S. How I memorized it to distinguish this may sound a little silly, but how Jesus said that the goats were on the left-hand side, so the sinners were on the left-hand side. The sheep were on the right-hand side. And also the word sinister, sin, in Latin means left. And yeah, so that's how I memorize that. Sin is on the left, because a sin is on the left. And also sinister in Latin. Shin on the right, and the final letter we'll get to is tav, which is the T. Now you see there's two T's here, and there's two types of K's, even though we write this with a Q. There's two S's, and in fact, this is a type of an S here, but it's za, and you'll see two, potentially, depends if you want to pronounce ein or just the Alef, two letters that take the vowel property or glottal stops. 400 here. So last thing I want to say is to add these numbers up. For example, if you want to do the number 124, you would, if you want to write 124 in this system, you would find 100, which is kof, 20, which is kaf, and 4, which is dalet, or dalet, and you have 124. Now the number everybody thinks about, 666, and it's not 666, it's not 3 6s, it's 666, and in a few manuscripts, just a few, obviously purposely changed by somebody, by the scribes, it's 616, to spell out Nero in Latin, I've heard, but 666 would be tav, is 400, plus 200, resh, so TR, 400, 666, 60 would be samech, and 6 would be vav, or wav. So again, we always read Hebrew going this way. So that's TRS. So in either V or W, whatever you want. Or potentially even like a O or a U type of sound can come out with that. We'll put those in parentheses. So it would be like TRSW, TRSV, and so on. Yeah, so that concludes the first lesson of Biblical Hebrew. You've learned the alphabet, you've learned a transliteration type of system, and transliteration is just like what I did here. You transliterate it in Hebrew, in English, the Hebrew, and you learn the name of the scripts, either Ketav Merubah or Ketav Ashuri, meaning square script or Assyrian script, and you learned the numerical values of each of the letters. Thank you for your time. Cheers.